Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. So, this message is for you if you find yourself in some sort of conflict and it's very difficult to see the solution. Now, oftentimes, those of us who are spiritual practitioners, one of the first places we turn is to working with whatever spirit that we work with, or doing some type of spell, something of that nature, in hopes that we get an answer to the issue that we're facing. But if you've been doing this long enough, you'll find that there are times where no matter what spell or what spirit you summon, the answers seem to elude you, right? So if you find yourself in a place where things seem very cloudy, very foggy, dark, and you just don't know which way to turn, it might feel like you're being abandoned, but oftentimes this is an opportunity to really pull out a sort of spiritual strength that you didn't know that you had, right? This is an opportunity to strengthen your spiritual muscles, right? So you can see my cat back here sleeping, and oftentimes when he wants to communicate with me, he'll start meowing and meowing. Now, I don't speak cat language, so it's difficult to know exactly what he wants. But if I pay attention to him and at least try, he'll often walk in a direction. Typically, he wants to go outside. So when I started paying attention to him, instead of just ignoring him, saying, oh, he's just a cat meowing, I'll follow him and I'll go towards the door and I'll let him out. So even though there's a language barrier, we don't communicate in the same language, if I pay attention, I start to see exactly what is attempting to be communicated. And spirit works a lot like that. The subconscious mind is the gateway to communicate with these abstract forces of reality. And because these forces are abstract, they come to us symbolically. The message is a symbolic message. And if we're looking for a literal, concrete, fully fleshed out answer, we're gonna miss the guidance. So what's the solution here? If you find yourself in a dark place that seems cloudy and foggy and you don't know what step to take next, what I've found is that sometimes I'm looking for a fully processed answer, when in truth, what actually moves the needle is a solid direction. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is sometimes you got to go out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you need to reach out to a friend. Maybe you need to go for a walk or travel to a place that you don't usually go to. You got to do something different. You got to do something different. And you got to keep your eyes open, because all you really need is a direction to move in. When things seem dark and you don't know the answer, what step to take, all you need to look for is the first step, right? Because we try to think our way out of the situation. We try to use logic and process, and we try so hard to brainstorm, and we get stuck in these mental loops, and the mental loops don't solve the problem. It makes us feel like we're doing something, we're spinning our wheels, but it doesn't actually solve the problem. So what works for me, at least, and I'm sure it will work for you, is going out of your comfort zone and paying attention and looking for the signs that are leading you to what feels right. What I've seen is that usually the answer is already there, and we've overlooked it because it doesn't seem like what we're expecting. Like I said, we're usually expecting a fully fleshed out answer to be delivered to us. But if we're entering into a new territory, somewhere that's unfamiliar, then of course we're not going to be able to recognize the answer because it's new, it's something different. So in order for us to really reach the destination that we're trying to go, the solution that's going to get us out of the situation, that's going to solve whatever we're facing, we got to look for the first step, right? And like I said, it's usually there. So what we're doing is we're going through processes constantly to strengthen these spiritual muscles, to strengthen that relationship to the higher self. Because the higher self communicates with us, like I said, through the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind speaks through an abstract language, a symbolic language. So we've got to be paying attention to the symbols. We've got to be paying attention to the patterns. And like I said, once you find a pattern, a symbol, a direction that feels right, that's when it's time to take the first step. It's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to seem unfamiliar, but when you take the first step, then the next step becomes very clear, right? And once you continue taking these steps, what happens is that the path is revealed, and eventually you'll get enough footing to run instead of walk. So the important takeaway here is don't fall into fear, don't fall into doubt and negativity and thinking, oh, I'm abandoned. Oftentimes, if you stepped into a new territory, the map is completely unfamiliar. Trust your intuition, look for the symbols, go out of your comfort zone, and take action. Take action. Take uncertain action. But do something. Don't sit there and try to think through it. That's wasting time, right? And instead of wasting time, you could be building momentum. It's all about momentum. Momentum is going to get you out of whatever the situation is that you're facing. So that's the message. Pay attention. Go out of your comfort zone. Do what feels right. And keep moving. Keep moving. All right? This is TK Trav, a.k.a. Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you. Peace.